What up, y'all? This is Golden Spaces, an Odyssey original podcast. And yo, it's going to be some fucking profanity. So if you don't like it, just fucking tune out right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tight. And Justin says New York is fucking cursed. So you getting all of that tonight because this is some straight up fuckery, right? Like it was just some straight up fuckery.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what. First of all, let's begin with game fucking one. When this motherfucker Kerr just didn't want to play Steph 3 extra fucking minutes. Now, how many minutes Steph played tonight, Justin?
Steph played 41.
41 minutes tonight. You would have did that shit the other night? Y'all win this game easily because the Sacramento Kings probably would have won this game regardless because they was going to play desperate and crazy and whatever. But now you heading back to Chase with a split instead of being down 2 because you're goofy. And now I know you're going to be playing him again 40 plus minutes if you need to because that's an absolutely must win game now.
Yeah. They get.
Why do you even think that you can not play him 40 minutes? You got Kawhi playing 40 minutes. You got Kevin Durant playing damn near the whole game. All these other coaches playing their guys 40 plus minutes. And you think you can just, Steph, oh no, 37 minutes. Like, let's start there. Because that was some stupid shit. And now it came back to bite you in the ass tonight. Now, I couldn't have predicted a Draymond Green suspension. But, like, look how hard the game was to begin with. Right? You got players in foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like you going to Jermichael Green, which at least I got to say he ain't go to Lamb. So I'm glad that man is really out the rotation. But you going to Jermichael Green, you going to Moody. Moody was decent. You know what I'm saying? He had some moments, but it's just like all of this because you ain't want to play Stephen Curry 40 minutes.
Yep.
In a game that y'all control for most of the game.
Both games, really. They control.
Now,
it's funny.
Let's get to the bullshit tonight. Wait, you got something to say? Go ahead.
I would say going into this series, I think when we had Kenny on, what did I say? I said something about like the Warriors just won't beat themselves. They literally beat themselves 2 games in a row. Shit is crazy.
And I'm laughing because tonight they want to drive and attack. You know, I love Clay, but his little, you know, attitude during that little presser he had that everyone was like circulating. It's like,
sorry.
The only reason you were so triggered by that question is because y'all know those were some stupid shots. It don't even got to be about you because, like, fine, you and Steph, but like, it was just stupid what y'all did. That's why Kerr was like, and then they didn't even end up practicing, which I'm not sure that it really matters, but they didn't end up practicing. You know, I just, and I get it. You're going to be confident and all of that. I don't mind anything else he said, but everyone's just like, yeah, Clay tired of y'all asking him questions. I said, it wasn't a stupid question. Right? Like he was just triggered by that man's question. Let me tell you something. That reaction was a man or a team who knows that they should have played it differently. What did they take? 53s in that last game?
I can't remember.
It was something like that. And I know it was a number where they don't even take that many threes. They've never even taken that many threes ever at all in the regular season. Like it was some stupid, goofy shit. So it's like, but fine. Because I still think the biggest reason for that loss was Steve Kerr's dumbass rotation, right? But now you don't even get a chance to fix that because Loon is in early foul trouble. Dre is in early foul trouble. Then you got to burn a challenge because the refs are fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just hard. And game 2 was harder. And they were ready. They came out hungry. They came out aggressive. Both teams had a crazy amount of turnovers, although Golden State finished with 20. But they scored many more points off of turnovers than Golden State did.
Yep.
And still, they had a chance to win with 20 turnovers.
So I'm saying this really shouldn't be the Warriors really should be up 2-0 going home. It's really sad that they're shooting themselves in the foot like this. Give credit to the Kings. They've shown, I mean, if the moments that the Warriors have given them life and confidence, they've taken a hold of that and showed some extreme poise in these situations. So definitely credit to them. But the Warriors literally are beating themselves. They beat themselves 2 games in a row.
All I know is the league better not come back and do no stupid shit like suspend him for a game or nothing.
Yeah.
He already got the flagrant 2, but like all this now X-rays and all of this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
Mike Brown wasn't with us in 2016, right? He started the season after.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the kind of jerk that would like push for that. You know, that doesn't seem like in his DNA. But I just, Draymond, like, by the way, I totally understand Draymond's standpoint, but like, you still gotta fucking be smarter. Like, this guy is always costing us shit. He's always costing us shit. You talk the most. Steph gotta fucking cash your checks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you say a lot, and I'm not saying you don't come through, but like, you talked a lot last year, and then was shook in the finals. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, this year you've been talking, you've been potting. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, come on. Okay, apparently he said, my leg got grabbed second time in 2 nights. Anthony Slater, this is an Anthony Slater tweet, said he needed to put his foot somewhere, but officials told him he stomped too hard.
Got to be smarter. Dude's grabbing your foot. I mean, it's 1,001 cameras out there, dude. You stomp on a dude's chest. Like, obviously, okay, he's grabbing your foot, whatever. There's different ways to go about showing the refs that he's grabbing your foot than just
exaggerate, fall, get the
yeah. That just
and now you got a flagrant 2, so we got to worry about that shit now, assuming you advance past these playoffs.
Right. Like you just said, got to worry about any potential pursuit by the Kings to get you suspended for Game 3. Yeah, just dumb stuff. The Warriors look like the team that has no experience right now, and that's
exactly
just annoying. And that's why they're down 2-0. I mean, down 0-2 right now.
And I'm sorry, but they got to do something. They got to find a way, because Davion Mitchell is going to stay out there and keep harassing Steph. And Mike Brown is going to keep doing that until it doesn't work. Now, it's likely not going to work in the next game because all the role players are going to play better at home. So, because Jordan Poole was abysmal tonight. He was not good. He was not good. And we need more from Jordan. And Clay was just okay. Andrew Wiggins, honestly, was probably their second best player.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I think he could have attacked the rim. He got to get those 3-point attempts down, in my opinion. Get to the rim a little bit more. Finish while he's at the rim. He missed that one layup. Just try to dunk the ball. Like
I said that. Just dunk it, Andrew. Just dunk it. 2 times he missed right at the rim. Just dunk it.
Just dunk it. A few of those 3-point attempts, they're conceding to you. Just get to the rim. He had one attempt where he just drove, stuck his arm out, palming the ball, and then just guided it right in. It's like you can do that every time. They have no wing that's quick enough to stay with you. They have no guard that's strong enough to do anything with you. He should be going for near 30 every game. For real. He was, 7 for 11 on 2s, and he missed those 2 layups, and he was 2 for 8 on 3s.
Yeah, it's going to have to be Steph, Clay, and Wiggins. And, and I say Wiggins because, I mean, like, he's looked amazing, and plus he's doing a much better job defensively. How many minutes he played tonight?
39. Played 39 minutes. Fox definitely didn't have as good of a game as he did last game. He still got to his spots a little bit, but that's because they're playing like a drop with Sabonis. And it's like, I get it because you don't want to switch and then get a small on Sabonis, and Sabonis can kind of just punish smalls in there, but you can't let him walk into mid-range open pull-ups. Like, you're going to lose that battle every time. So
I mean, none of them. I mean, this was a low scoring game for the Kings. They
Right.
defensively did what they were supposed to do. They kept everyone else in check, but they kept turning the fucking ball over to them. 20 turnovers, a bulk of them coming between Dre and Steph.
Yeah, take care of the ball. Little stuff like Draymond just running into Steph's handle. Dumb stuff like Clay dribbling the ball up and he doesn't see Fox right behind him, smack. Like, that's stuff teams that haven't been to the playoffs and haven't won championships do. Like, or that's a team that thinks they're just going to easily win and they just lollygag and don't take it super serious. It's like, y'all got to play with desperation, bro. This is the playoffs. The Kings are not the Kings are not backing down, and they're just going to keep coming at you. And the other coach y'all, so he knows your tendencies. He knows that Draymond is not trying to score, so he's telling him to sag off. So all of those passes that's usually there, they ain't there because they know you want to pass it, Draymond.
They were playing the passing lanes like no other.
Because
and I'm like, Zena Kata had a good tweet, and I agree with her. Like, y'all may need to try a few ball fakes because the way they're like running and scrambling, you know what I'm saying? And also, like, sometimes, Dre, you got to look to fucking score. And I said that. Like, Dre, there's the couple times you ran out the shot clock because you looking for people. Nigga, fucking score. Go shoot the fucking basketball.
This happened in the Memphis series, too. Last year. Happened in the Memphis series. He kept trying to force passes through. They weren't getting through. And then game 6, he realized, like, they're playing me one-on-one. I got to try to score. And I think he had like 15 or 16 points in game 6. He had a tough layup on Jaren Jackson, I remember, because those things stick out to you because he doesn't do those things normally. If you just go into Sabonis' chest, I think he went at Alex Len once, and then Alex Len ended up blocking it. But that's the type of play you got to try to make. Pump fake him, go into his chest, try to get fouled. You got to keep the defense honest because they're just hugging Steph and Clay off of these screens. They're hugging Wiggins on some of these cuts. So those passes aren't going to be there. You got to make them pay. And on the other side, the Kings got 5 guys on the court at all times that's making you pay in some way. Whether it's catching and shooting, whether it's catching and driving and kick, whether it's somebody finishing inside. That's why they're so difficult to guard. The Warriors did a pretty good job of guarding them today. Only scored 114. But it's got to be that same type of mentality on the offensive end for the Warriors. Got to be, everybody has to be a threat. Like, that's how you end up with 106 points against the worst defensive team in the playoffs. That can't happen.
Yeah, I mean, Herdefound has shot a little bit tonight, but they ain't coming into chasing doing that. And even if they do, I mean, I just expect Jordan's going to play better. Dante, some of them threes will fall. Like, all of them. They'll have the crowd. So I just expect them to play better because the role players will be able to contribute more. And then when they're doing that, it's going to make them loosen up on Steph because then, like, because right now, I mean, there's 2-3 bodies moving with him, Justin.
Yep. Everywhere he goes, they're kind of soft trapping those screens because they know Draymond is not trying to score. Kevon Looney is not trying to score out of that role. He's trying to drive into the paint and then find a kick out or a dump down option. And this is where the Warriors are really missing Otto Porter because he would take that shot. He would take the shot and hit it. He's a threat. So
yeah, and there was a shot I saw Moody pass up. If you're going to be on the fucking court, you need to take that shot. Because it was that 3 or whatever. He had one and he didn't take it. And then he drove, passed it to someone. And then just like, you were literally butt naked, wide open. Just take it.
Yeah.
Take the shot. I mean, I'm so aggravated. I'm aggravated because the game is not till Thursday. So that's Tuesday, that's Wednesday, and all day Thursday.
Yeah. For me, they need to sit on this 0-2. First time 0-2 in the current era. In the Steph era. First time 0-2 in a series. Like, so maybe that's going to knock some sense into their head and say, look, we got to, get it together because this team should not be up 2-0 on y'all. Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it for real, man.
People going to say we're just not objective, because like the Kings are not this close to the Warriors. People don't want to be honest, but they're going to look at these games and be like, come on, Nat.
Game 1, through the end of the third quarter away, sitting Steph and Draymond. That was the game. Game 2, first quarter, 8 turnovers, 9. The Kings only scored 17 points, and half of those points was off transition turnovers from the Warriors. They should have beat them 35-12 in the first quarter. It should have been over in the first quarter. Shooting themselves in the foot, dumb stuff. Passing it out of bounds, just giving it to the other team.
And like honestly, this is one of them games like you may have to put Steph on the ball more, like her, because like Clay's bringing up the ball, and you don't even like. Come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why ain't nobody telling him like De'Aaron's right there behind him, yelling at him or something? Like, why don't you feel him behind you?
That's my thing. Why are you not just looking behind you? I think it's so loud in there that it's hard for people to yell and tell him that stuff. But you should just know
he's
that.
Like dribbling and like, come on, you're not a ball handler like that.
I mean,
it's real casual with it.
That's what I'm saying. The casual, like, it's like they just think they're gonna win. It's like, yeah, it's the first round. Y'all are used to playing in the finals, in the conference finals, and all this type of stuff, and you've never lost in the West, so you think you're just gonna somehow just win. It's like, bruh.
And then on top of this, like it's whoever you see in the next round, because like Ja's his hand is done. I mean, I don't know how much better it's gonna feel in 2 days, but he's gonna be less effective. And like the Lakers are gonna have 2 nights off. So like while I do think all that shooting and stuff is fake from the other guys, you know, you're giving 82 nights off, you're giving Bron 2 nights off. I mean, I do think the Grizzlies can still pull it out because like they know how to play without Ja, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know without Ja if they can push that series to like 6.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they can, but we'll see.
I mean, unless Ja just starts to feel better by one of the later games, and then that helps them. You know, I think they can get like possibly get the next game, but they probably gonna lose both games in LA. They already were not a good road team.
I agree. But
so I mean, whatever. I can't worry about them because the Warriors. Right. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying. So like the Lakers gonna be at home resting.
Yeah. Ultimately think those series would a series with the Lakers or the Grizzlies wouldn't be as like, I guess, just a different type of matchup. So even if the Lakers are resting, I think the Lakers want to play slower than the Warriors.
Yeah, anyway. They don't want to play as fast. It was like a frenetic pace out there today with the Kings.
Right. So maybe the Warriors going into that series will be a little bit tired, but they would start that series at home. So who knows? But they take care of business, man. Take care of business. Stop treating this like they just the little kids up the street that you're going to just flip a switch and beat. You got to go out there and beat them. Like, you got to go out there with a game plan. I mean, they've executed their game plan to a decent level, right? The Kings only scored 114, but 106 is unacceptable against the worst defensive team in the playoffs.
And a lot of that shit was just like at the end. They really hold them like
right
to a low scoring game.
Right. They gave up like 2-3 layups at the end just because they knew the game was over. Yeah.
Well, look, I believe a lot of things they haven't happened. So people are going to be like, Natalie, who cares what you believe? But I do think it's going to be tied up after 2, after the next 2 games. But the question is just like, it is really in the Warriors' best interest to win look, you got to take it 1 game at a time, but they really need to try to win the next 4 games in a row.
Yep. You got 3 of the next 4 at home. Take care of home court and just try to go into Golden 1 and steal game 5. But the thing is, it's obviously going to be hard, but it's not difficult. The concept of beating the Kings is not a difficult one. It's not super complex, right? Obviously, you got to go out there and play hard and stuff, but you take care of the ball. If you give yourself more or equal possessions to them, you have the better players, so you should win. But if you give them more possessions, more opportunities to score, they have too much talent. They're gonna outscore you. You know what I mean? Like, they got a bunch of guys that can hurt you. Malik Monk, 18. Davion Mitchell out of nowhere can shoot mid ranges now. So 14 points. It was Trey Lyles game 1. It was Davion Mitchell game 2. Right? It was Malik Monk going for 32 in game 1. Kevin Huerter chipped in his 15 this game. Like they got too many weapons. You cannot give them opportunity after opportunity with these offensive rebounds, turnovers, and fouls, and putting them in the bonus early in the quarter.
Yeah, that shit was stupid. I mean, look, it was, tonight was hard because like Loon couldn't stay on the floor. Dre couldn't stay on the floor. So that made things a lot harder. Clay needs to get his ass rebounding. And same thing with Wiggs. And Kuminga, you're not even being played right now because you don't want to rebound.
Those Kuminga minutes were rough. 4 minutes minus 10. Beginning of the second quarter, I believe he was tasked with guarding Malik Monk or De'Aaron Fox, one of those two, and then he was just getting torched. He wasn't navigating the screens well. Malik Monk got hot, and I believe the Kings scored 13 points in the first 2 minutes. First 3 minutes. No. I was right. The first 2 minutes of the second quarter, the Kings went from 17 points to 30.
Yeah.
Like, that's the game. That's the game.
I'm just wondering in game 3. Well, I mean, before we move on to the next game, I just, yeah, man, I'm just annoyed. I'm really curious to hear. I mean, obviously, I'll have to listen later because I want to hear all the bullshit they're gonna say.
Right. Yeah.
I want to hear all the bullshit they're gonna say. Anyway, with that, let's move on. So for the next game, I mean, what do you think? First of all the starters got to be playing like around 40 minutes, if not more. But do you think it's going to be a shorter rotation?
I do. I don't know if Kuminga gets a run. I think Moody might get that first run, and if he plays well, he'll get the second one as well. Gary's going to be pushing 30 minutes. Dante did not play well tonight. I think this is a tough matchup.
Dante, so Dante's still going to get minutes.
He's still going to get minutes. He's still going to get a rotation, but I don't know if this is like the best matchup for Dante, considering he can't stay in front of Monk or Fox.
No, the only people who can stay in front of them are Wiggs or GP2.
Wiggs and Gary, right? So they're going to have to play pretty much the whole game.
The two guys who ain't been playing all season. Maybe that's why they both look so good, though.
Right. JP, I don't know. I really don't know. He can't stay in front of anybody. He's not rebounding. He's affecting the game. He's not affecting the game in any way. Positively.
No, and you're doing really stupid shit. Like
dumb shit.
They were on a run.
He killed it.
Why are you passing the ball so wild like that? The force that he why?
I really don't know. There was one fast break in the first half, I believe, where he had Dante on one side and Clay on the other side, and he gave it to Dante, and Dante just didn't do anything with it. I'm like, why the fuck would you give it to Dante over Clay? That just doesn't make sense. It's like his head's not in it for some reason. He's trying to get to the lane, force his way to the lane, throw up some weird layups that aren't going in. I want to give him a little bit of grace because of his ankle, but if you out there, you got to at least make better decisions, bro. Come on.
That's the problem, and that's why the Lakers fans will tell you Reeves is better because they just think he's a higher IQ player.
Higher IQ player, plays defense. I don't know, JP. I'm trying to defend him, but it's right now it's looking like the Warriors could definitely benefit from having Reeves right now over Jordan Poole. I'm just keeping it a buck.
You're just not out there making smart decisions.
Yeah. Simple as that. 16 minutes, -4. I'm sure he was a part of positive Warriors runs that brought his plus minus back to -4. It really was worse than that. But yeah, got to be better. Should be better at home, but they can't. They're not going.
You can't be a role player. You're not being paid to be a role player. Yes. Your pay starts next year. But when you're getting paid like that, you're paid to be someone who can be counted on the road as well as at home for more than 20 minutes a night.
Right. 2 games in a row, Malik Monk is like looks way better than you. And that's crazy because he's not better than you. But Malik Monk is making what? Like, I can't remember, but under 20 mil a year. And you about to be making over 20 mil a year. And he's looking like he's leagues ahead of you. That's just crazy to me. Like, his contract is starting next year is a starter caliber contract. If you can't come off the bench and outplay Malik Monk in a playoff game, what are we doing? Like,
and just stop letting him fucking close quarters. I just don't. This is the thing I don't know about the Warriors. Like, why do you just keep doing the same stupid shit over and over? Like, he has yet to demonstrate he has the ability to do this.
He literally at the end, was it the first quarter? Where it was the second, one of those 2 quarters where he had the ball at the last possession and dribbled it like off his foot, didn't even get a shot off. I'm like, this dude, like, it's literally inevitable. If he has it at the end of the quarter, he's dribbling it off his foot.
Nothing is going to happen ever.
It's
crazy. You bring Steph back to not let him get the ball? Why?
This shit is insane. This shit is really insane.
But they gonna tell us because not you, but they gonna say because I never hooped before, I shouldn't be commenting on what they doing. That's stupid, right? They know better than me, right?
Clay should have took more shots to this game, to be honest. But they running people off the line. Can't get the ball to him. Can't get the ball to him.
I mean,
Warriors took 82 shots. The Kings took 92. They also took 29 free throws. That's just indicative of just having the ball way more possessions. It's hard to beat a team when they're taking 10 more shots and 11 more free throws than you. Take care of the ball. Don't foul. Some of the, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the fouls that these refs are calling, it's like, come on, bro. It's the playoffs. I think at one point we can hear Draymond talking to a ref say, "Are we going to have a soft game or a physical game? It can't be both." And he's right. You know what I mean? He did some moronic things like during the game, but we can't have these ticky-tack fouls on guys getting a rebound, the ball pops out, they call it a foul. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, shit is just super, super weak. Malik Monk drives in the paint. If he does anything in the paint, it's like Ja. It's like you just touch him because he fucking weighs 100 pounds. He's going to go flying somewhere. It's a foul automatically. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. He's driving into a 6'8", 6'6", 6'7" type of dude. Of course he's going to go flying and all that type of shit. Everything is not a foul with this man, bro. It's not like.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Kings are a cute story and all. Like, and I really do like De'Aaron Fox. Like, even when he was asked about the Sabonis thing tonight, he didn't say anything too crazy. And he's just like a cool dude. I really like him. So they're not an unlikable team. I don't like Sabonis.
Yeah.
He can get all the way out of here. Fuck him. I don't like him. He's a straight up bitch. He's a bitch. He's a bitch.
I agree.
But that being said, it's like, it's gonna have to even out at some point. So the Warriors got to get the home cooking.
They do. It's not up or shut up time. Like,
it's just law of averages and shit. Like they got to get some calls now going their way and in their favor because
it's been bullshit so far.
I mean, like, do you really want the Warriors out in the first round?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Adam, what you doing, bro?
I mean, people are gonna say like that's because they want the Lakers. Okay, even if they do, but do you really want Lakers Kings? Is that the series that you want?
Like, all right, Adam, Kings got their 2 games, right? Ratings going up. Let's do what we're supposed to do, man. Sorry.
This is crazy.
Get the bullshit over with.
They need to do some more to get Wiggs going downhill, run some plays for him, and get him, because he's been good.
They gave him one post up. He scored easy, and they just never posted him up again. It was one play actually. They posted him up. He scored, and then the very next play down, Jordan took a 3, and then after that, then he threw it to Wiggins out of bounds. I'm like, JP, time and score situation. This is the stuff that like elite guards do. You cannot see Wiggins score that bucket and then come down and be like, "Yep, it's JP time." Nah, that can't happen. But yeah, they got to post him up a little bit more because Monk and Fox are too small. Herter is too small. Harrison isn't too small, but Harrison is too slow. Get Wiggins going downhill, but also when Steph and Clay and these guys are driving and they're drawing multiple defenders, Wiggins fucking cut. Stop shooting these spot up threes, bro. It ain't there yet. 2 for 8 from 3, bro. Get to the rack. So he should have 30 every game. But yeah, it's just they got to figure out their second unit because it's not looking good.
So you talking about, I don't even know. Is it a 7-man rotation? Can't trust Jordan right now. Dante is
Yeah.
Kuminga. So I mean, you talking about a 6-man rotation with where you can fit in, Dante.
Yeah.
Maybe, Jordan. Like, I mean, you're just crucial out there now at this point.
Yep. Starting 5 plus Gary. Obviously, Dante needs to get his first rotation, but they got to figure out a lineup that works. Like, they got to figure out a lineup that works. I think definitely the rotations were thrown off by the early foul trouble, but from Draymond and Looney, but that's just, yeah. It's tough to play Kuminga at this point. He's not really making a positive impact, which is disappointing considering the strides that he made in the regular season. You would think he would make more of an impact, but it just seems like the Kings' offense is a little bit too complex for him at this point. He's much better guarding guys' simpler actions, right? Like in a potential Memphis or Lakers series, I think he'll have a much better impact because they don't run super complex offenses. Dante got to figure it out somehow. He played much better game 1 than game 2. JP, figure it out. Moody played well. I like Moody's minutes. He was a +1 in his 8 minutes. And it looked like it too. Like the eye test, he passed the eye test, crashed in the glass.
Yeah.
He had a few like young player mistakes with those fouls, like on the inbounds and stuff like that. But that's because he hasn't played. Right. And this is why you play him over Anthony Lamb
all season, and now you fucking going to him.
This is why you play him over Anthony Lamb in the regular season. And everybody want to fucking cry and be on Anthony Lamb's dick and talk about, all his fucking shooting splits and all this shit. Like, he ain't playing in the playoffs. Play Moses Moody in the regular season so he's ready for these moments, even though he was actually ready. Like, come on. But what do we know? Right. Also, thanks to Joe Lacob, thanks to Bob Myers, they don't have a third big. JaMychal Green, you take a flyer on vet men, whatever you didn't hit, that's cool, but you had plenty of opportunities to get another big in there that could potentially help. They're really missing Otto right now. They need a big that can actually score outside of the paint when there is no one under the rim, because Draymond and Looney can pretty much only score when there's nobody under the rim. And the Kings are making them pay for it. They're overplaying every passing lane. They're daring Draymond and Looney to make a play at the rim, and they just aren't willing to do it. If you have a big in there, like even fucking Trey Lyles, obviously he wasn't available, but like if you have a player like that on your bench, it makes a huge difference because it keeps at least 4 guys on the opposite team honest. Now only 3 of them got to be honest, and the other 2 can just sag off, play in the pass lane, be aggressive. That's how you get 20 turnovers outside of just the dumb shit they were doing. They trying to force passes that ain't there because it's traffic cop offense. So they got to address that in the offseason. But for now, they definitely still should be beating the Kings. Like, it's really no excuse.
Sorry, I'm actually at a loss for words, Justin.
Same.
This is aggravating.
Very, very, very.
I mean, at the end of the day, all the Kings did was do what they're supposed to do, and they won 2 games at home.
Yep.
And
Credit
I
to
know
that
we're
crowd.
gonna hear over the next 2 days about how many teams have come back from falling down 2-0 and la 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 and all this shit. But Kawhi just did that shit the other day.
Right? The Clippers went down 2-0 to the Mavericks like 2 years ago or something, right? They were
Yeah,
getting cooked
they
by the
went down
Mavs too.
2-0, then they went down 3-2. They kept losing all of their. It was weird too because they lost all their games at home and they had home court, so it was a little different. But they lost their games at home.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember the OKC Thunder did that too to San Antonio some years ago, and they had got blown out. And this when Kevin Durant was still there, and then they came back. And actually, I think they came back and they won the next 4. I think San Antonio only won those
They
first 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, win the next game and you make it a series, and then you tie it up at home, and then at that point the series resets, and it's a best of 3.
Boom. Best of 3. They say the playoff series don't start until somebody wins a road game. Then boom. Let's see. Win your 2 home games, win a road game, win another home game. Take it one game at a time. Take care of the fucking ball. Stop fouling. Rebound. Let's hope Davion Mitchell shoots his normal percentages in Chase Center.
Yeah, I mean, because Fox was not extraordinary tonight. He was good. He was solid. But them threes were not just falling like last time. He's 32% 3-point shooter. Someone tweeted Fox has definitely outplayed Steph in this game. And I'm like, in this series, I'm like, I don't know about all that, but it's surely easier to look better when you're not getting boxed and one all night.
Shooting wide open mid ranges.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Come on now.
Come on.
Even still, he hasn't outplayed Steph, but that's fine.
Yeah, but they might need to rethink, they do have other guys that can hurt them. So it's not just a box thing, but they may need to rethink some of their strategies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think this game, they definitely played him a lot better. They played Dante less, especially on him. He was really killing Dante in game 1, and then more Wiggins.
I mean, we all saw it. We said it last podcast, Wiggs needs to start.
That happened, and he didn't really go off as much as he did in the first game, but I think it'll be like that for the remainder of the series. At this point, it's just you got to find a way to make your offense a little bit better.
Just don't turn the ball over. I know that the Warriors like to play fast, but they don't have as many high IQ guys as they used to. So just maybe slow it down a little bit. Get out and transition when you can, but trying to just do everything so fast and whip these passes around, and they're reading your passes. They're playing the passing lanes.
Yep. And it helps to have a guy like Jordan chip in 17 points like he did in game 1, because he was much more under control, getting downhill, scoring and stuff like that. He has to be good. It's no other way around it. He has to be good. He has to be good.
I mean,
they
one
only
thing
score
I'll say about
106.
Jordan, he has in the past responded.
Yeah.
In situations like this. So
he just got to be better. I mean, he just got to be better. That's it. That's it. If he chips in 10 more points, they win. right? One
I
for
mean, I know
seven.
technically he's not a second year player, but I feel like this is the second year of his like rise. So I'm saying it's like a sophomore slump. Like it's just been an up and down season for him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Starts with the defensive effort, though. As long as you're doing that, then we can live with the results offensively, and it's up to Kerr and Steph and Clay to figure out the offense enough for them to get a win. But play defense, take care of the ball, don't make dumb decisions, and then just live with the results of your shooting and the work you put in on that. But you can't be a negative on offense, turning the ball over, not hitting shots, and not playing defense. That's when you gotta sit.
Facts. Facts. You know, like I said, I expect them to win and get a little breathing room next game. Because if they don't, it's a wrap.
Over.
So now you're really in a must win situation. I mean, really, the next two games are must wins. So they just need to focus on that. They'll have Chase behind them. They
Yeah,
better not let Kings fans come in there take over their building.
facts. I mean, I think the next three are must wins. To be honest, I mean, obviously, if you win those two and you lose Game 5, then it's not the end of the world because you go back home and then Game 7 is anybody's game. But they don't need to get the 3 wins. The Kings, it would be really a disgrace if the Warriors, one, lose this series, but two, let the Kings win 3 games in this series. They get your shit together. They're not a better team than y'all. Win 4 straight games.
Yeah, Marcus Thompson has been saying, like, well, I shouldn't say been saying because I haven't like talked to him since the series started, but like before it started and like sort of previewing the series and discussed it, he said, we'll see, like if the Kings, like, we don't know if they really are what they showed in the regular season, but he was just like, he sort of sees them as like the 2013 Warriors who pushed like the Spurs, and so he was just like, they'll get a lot of credit for going, like, if they can push the Warriors 6, they'll get credit for that, and people will look at them seriously even if they don't win the series. Now they're just not here for that. Obviously they want to advance and keep going, but I don't know. I just don't think this is the year that it's supposed to start being the demise of the Warriors. I mean,
People keep saying like this is the end if they lose this shit. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's say they lose to
I
the
still don't think
Kings.
it's the end. I mean, I just feel like if you have Steph Curry in his prime, it can't be the end. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's still he may be on the back end of his prime, but he's still in his prime and he's playing at that level, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, if you have that, then it's not done. Even if you lose, you just didn't repeat.
Right.
But I
Retool
mean, going
and
out in the first round and if not even being able to go 6 games, like things like that, that would mean like you need to make some serious changes. I
yeah,
mean, you got to make serious changes regardless, but you get what I'm saying. Bench wise.
for sure. Yeah, retool, keep your same starting five. If you got to make changes elsewhere, then you got to look at those avenues. But I think this year in particular has shown that the core is still a championship level core. The auxiliary pieces around the core this year just aren't as good as last year. That's been apparent. Um, so win, lose, or draw, you need to go back to the drawing board on that and come back next year. Um, Better pieces around those guys.
But the thing is, Justin, I just still look around the league and I'm just like,
It's a lot of mid out there.
right. There's just no team out there. Like, look at how the Suns, no bench, dying, struggling. The Bucks with Giannis off the court, like they have some games where they can play and sort of rise. This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't count on Drew to be like offensively good consistently over the course of a series. Plus, you got like Middleton right now who's dealing with an injury. I think they said like everything looks positive and Giannis is going to return, but it's just like, come on, the Heat are not that good, and they kind of had control of the game. Like I get it, it was early and anything could happen, but they were doing that before like Giannis even went down. Like.
Yeah.
And I remember looking around the league. I mean, right now the Celtics are the only one who look dominant, but that's because they're playing the Hawks. But the Celtics and Warriors played, and we see like those games aren't just like blowouts or anything like that, right? And
Warriors are a bad matchup for them.
And it's like the Lakers, come on, like they could barely beat,
Minnesota,
and then even yesterday with the Grizzlies, like the game, it was the same thing. Like at the end, it just kind of opened up, but they were in it with the Grizzlies the whole time.
Right, with Ja out, with Brandon Clark out, and with Steven Adams out.
Yeah, and Denver's going to be playing like they're playing Milwaukee. And I think we both sort of expected that first game to be a blowout, but some of those games will be close. It
makes it more frustrating that the rest of the league is so mid. Because last year's team would be breezing through this shit right now, to be honest. And I mean, you could say the only difference between last year's team and this year's team is that they had Otto. But one, that's a big piece. Two, it wasn't really just Otto. You know what I mean? Like, I think probably even Belly would be able to have an effect in this series. Like, they're not playing any, like, the way they're playing defense, I don't think he would be, killed out there. And he would add so much offensively to them. So just, yeah, retool, get the good pieces that they need for next year. But you still have a chance this year because the rest of the league is so
and
big.
Exactly. And that's really what it is. Like, I'm just not seeing no other team. So it's like, we said, like, this just may be a hard, like, we've said this already on this podcast. So that's why, like, when all these other people are like, this is going to be the hardest one yet. Yeah, well, no shit. We know that. Like, this wasn't going to be we just winning everything in 5. These series are going to go longer. It's going to be hard for it because the team is not as superior to other teams. But because of the way all the other teams look.
Right. It's still
they really shouldn't be looking at this and being like, we're done.
Right. I just think they got to play with a little bit more desperation, to be honest. They were way too casual coming into this game. On the offensive end, defensively, they were locked in from the jump, and it showed in the Kings' inability to score. But the Warriors were way too casual with the ball, turned it over, gave the Kings some life, and it's a dogfight from there. Right? You're fighting an uphill battle the whole time. Pretty sure the Kings only outscored the Warriors by 2 points in the second half. And again, we've watched them give up 2-3 layups at the very end. So really the Warriors kind of outscored them in the second half. But that second quarter, they got absolutely blitzed in the first 2-3 minutes. And that's the game. It's these 2-3 minute stretches that the Kings go crazy on you. In game 1 and game 2, you take those out and you win the games easily.
Yeah. Damian Lee was DNP'd in the first game, by the way, with the Suns. Anyway, listen, y'all, it is what it is. Warriors are now down 2 in the series, heading back to Chase in a must-win situation. First time ever in the Steve Kerr and Stephen Curry era. Really, the big 3 era. So let's see what they got. Let's see what they can do. We appreciate you tuning in. This is Golden Spaces, an Odyssey original podcast. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Golden Spaces Pod. You should also download our podcast. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review that's positive. Rate us with 5 stars. We appreciate that. Tell a friend. Just keep supporting. We appreciate it. Damn, we did say we were going to do some mailbag questions, but we didn't. So we'll throw that out there, and probably over these next 2 days, yeah, we need to do a mailbag. So we'll figure out what day that is, and they're not playing till Thursday, so we probably put that out. What's tomorrow? Tuesday?
Yeah.
So we probably put that out on Wednesday.
Yep.
I think. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll get y'all questions and answer. Hopefully we addressed a lot of them in here. You know, we talked about a lot, but we will definitely do another mailbag. So thank you for sticking with us. Until next time, go Dubs. Let's go. Let's go Dubs.